Hello, what is going on, guys? It's Chris from KRS Boxing here, and this is KRS Speaks Boxing, and I'm joined by Gully, the Relentless Power, five times Midlands Champion, two times Senior Champion. Uh, we got the Youth Champion. Yeah, there's a long list. Can you tell us about it? How's it going?
Yeah, man, it's all good, man. Thank you for having me on here. It's always I always appreciate this, man, especially doing these podcasts and that. But yeah, man, I'm here to express my journey. You know what I mean?
For it, man. So yeah, if you want to, so I just noticed was you just training a little bit late coming in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just did like 8 rounds of sparring today. To be fair, I just
Okay.
come back. I did like a 4 or 5 mile run earlier in the morning. My daily routine just basically training. If I'm not
Mhm.
training, I'm watching boxing. I always
Yeah.
do that, and then it's just I always put in the work, man. You know what I mean? When it's time to, even when I'm not got no fights coming up, like obviously I just turned professional recently. Even when I
Mhm.
was amateur, I was always training like a pro anyway. So I think it was good that I kind of changed over, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, man, it's all good. We just keep working every day. I will see where my journey takes me. God's will. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, so how important would you say like ticking over now while you're waiting to turn professional is for you and like keeping your time in, keeping everything sharp when you do turn pro?
Yeah, man, it's really important, man. Like, obviously, it's a big thing to me, like that I turn pro because obviously this is like a big journey. You know what I mean? Like a big
Hmm.
step for me as well, especially at the age of 20. I'm just
Hmm.
gonna rise to the occasion, beat the odds every time, whatever it is. I'm always willing to step in the ring and spot anyone, fight anyone. I don't mind.
Hmm.
Obviously, we're aiming for. I think we've got 2, 3 divisions we're looking at the moment. We see which I'm comfortable in. Just super bantamweight, featherweight, and super featherweight. Obviously,
Okay.
because I'm so young, I'm gonna gradually probably move up anyway. So like, obviously, I'm gonna fill out more. But at this moment in time, it'd be good if I just stayed at the lower weights and kind of dominated it. I reckon I could win a British title in my first like 10 fights easy. You know what I mean? Because obviously I got
Hmm.
the experience. I had like 40 amateurs, won over 30. You know what I mean? And that's
Hmm.
just that's how it goes, man. But it's just all about putting the hard work in. Like someone like me, I'm always putting like I was talented from a young kid, but when I worked hard, I realized I was even more talented. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
like I just like running. I like training. I like the feeling of sweat coming down and just knowing I've just trained hard and doing the hard rounds with people. Because when I was like 16, I was sparring pros. You know what I mean? I was sparring good
Hmm.
pros as well. I was sparring good amateurs. I've always, like I said, stepped up, and that's what's got me to here today, really. But like I said, man, hard work pays off, and it always will. That's the motto I always use, anyway.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Like
it's a
Floyd
big thing.
Mayweather, hard work, dedication. That's
Yeah,
what
man,
takes boxers there for sure. So
definitely.
so you're going to start your professional journey, but could you take us back? So how did your amateur journey sort of start? What age did you start boxing and run us through that?
So basically, I was around like 10 years old, 9 or 10, I think. I think I just turned 10 at
Hmm.
the time. My dad put me in the boxing. Obviously, my dad's heavily involved in my boxing.
Hmm.
And he put me in boxing when I was 10 years old because I was very hyper. I was just active. Even till this day, I'm still hyper. I can't sit down or nothing. But
Hmm.
I was always one of them kids that just didn't really want to sit down and do anything. I just wanted to experience everything, you know what I mean? So I went in the, like, obviously, I did a little bit of kickboxing. It wasn't too much like that, though. It wasn't like
Hmm.
anything special. But I got into boxing and I didn't like it. Like I always say this in every podcast, I didn't really like it at
Hmm.
first, but I think the thing with it was that I enjoyed the most was the hard work. Like I enjoyed the like before when I was a kid, I used to play football and there used to be constant walking and stuff, and you're not running that much. But this was like the next level hard work. You know what I mean? And I enjoyed it, but I remember the first time I sparred and I was like, man, this is hard. This is, you know what I mean? Like it was
Hmm.
probably the hardest thing I've ever tried in my life.
Hmm.
But then as the months went on, obviously I started to pick up on different things, started to enjoy it a lot more and a lot more. Started to just get the rounds in sparring, had my first girls back in the first 6 months. That's how much I developed that quick.
Hmm.
That went really well. I won my first 3 amateur fights, you know what I mean? And after that, we just progressed and progressed and progressed. And now we're here today. And I think if I didn't do boxing, there would be no such thing as Gully. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But obviously, like it's just built me, built my character as well. It's revealed who I am as a person and what I stand for. You know what I mean? Especially being a Sikh fighter as well.
Hmm.
It's kind of like just in our from
Blood.
years,
Yeah.
hundreds of years ago. It's
Hmm.
just always been inside me. So I think it just revealed who I am, and I'm ready to show the world what I'm really about. You know what I'm saying?
So touching on your dad's involvement in your boxing, he started you. Would you say he gave you a motivation to spur on and continue boxing as well, to progress into tournaments and that type of thing?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Like, to be fair, it was the way I was when I was obviously a bit younger. When you were a kid, you just want to just like train, but you're not. I trained, but it wasn't like the way I train now, obviously. So when I was doing boxing back then, I was just saying like something to them like, "Oh, I can't be bothered today." You know what I mean? And my dad's the type of person to be like, you know what, you need to go to the gym today. You got this coming, you got that coming. I used to always rely on my talent. That was a problem. You know what I'm saying? I was a good fighter. I could do the rounds, but it was never the case of working hard. I used to be one of them cheeky kids as well, like just always messing around and stuff. But I think my dad's always carried me on, like, and my family support, my mum, my sister, everyone, my brother, you know what I'm saying, my brother-in-law, sorry, they've always just kind of helped me kind of progress into the sport and like kind of helped me focus more because obviously with me, it was always about me. It was hard to concentrate on something, especially when you got other things that are going on and, you know, you want to, but yeah, like, we kind of just progressed. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I could say. Like my dad was always there, and he just carried on going forward.
For sure. Touching on that, so whenever like I noticed when I first walked into a boxing gym, there's like gym rules, and it was like don't be late, don't do this. Did you find that sort? Did you have like any gym rules and how
Yeah,
that sort of give you
yeah, yeah,
stability?
yeah, yeah. There's always gonna be that. Yeah, sorry, just cut out then. Yeah, it was
Oh,
it was
yeah,
always
sorry.
like that. Like when I remember when I was a kid, there was a training contest, and he used to work me hard all the time. Like, if you used to come late, he used to make the dad do the press ups. The actual parent was coming in. It wasn't the kid that did the press; it was actually the parent that did it. And that stuff like that always sticks with me because it's all about discipline and it was about respect. It's like if I step in the boxing club, sorry,
Yeah,
if I
no.
step in the boxing club and I come 15 minutes late or 20 minutes late every time and I make excuses, that just shows my
Oh,
is not really passionate about. I mean, just before ready to step up, you know what I'm saying, ready to go do sparring, ready to do everything. That just shows that I'm willing. I'm willing to learn anytime. You know what I'm saying. I always listen to all the coaches. My coach now, Richard Carter, he's developed me as a fighter a lot. You know what I'm saying. He's always been in my corner for 4 years. I've probably won a lot of fights for him because obviously I got better with him. He's developed my body work. He's just helped me a lot. You know what I'm saying. I've studied boxing, but he's always kind of helped me kind of fix it. You know what I'm saying. And it's just I think everything that just came into place, everyone around me, especially important people like my family, my coach, and I think it's all just positive well. And like I've kind of just developed like this now, and I'm just talented and hard
yeah.
work.
I notice even with your style, like I've watched
Yeah,
a
man.
few of the clips of your sparring. You've got like an old school style. Do you watch Joshua Buatsi? He's got that kind of thing coming in, and he rolls and he's tucking. Did you sort of develop that throughout the amateurs? Oh, are you still with me? Oh, don't know if I cut out.
In the amateurs, I used to just throw loads of punches. Like I was
Hmm.
always I used to throw loads of punches out. I used to throw like I was just straight
Oh,
shots, no body shots, just straight shots. Like I never used to. I was just like walking forward with a lot of punches. Like that was my style. It wasn't a
hmm.
bad thing. It was just that obviously as a kid,
Yeah.
you're not really in the amateurs. They don't really teach to do the body work. It doesn't really count. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But in the last 4 years, I would say I developed as a maybe like yeah, I get what you're saying, like a Boatsy style. But I look up to Canelo, Roberto
Hmm.
Duran, or I like the
Oh,
South American fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like all
yeah.
the body shots they throw, the left hooks, the body like Barrera used to throw against Morales, and the way they fight with the uppercuts. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Canelo's head movement, I love it. I also like Javante Davis, Sikh fighter.
Yeah.
I studied, to be fair, I studied Mo Sugar Ray
Hmm.
Leonard. I've studied him. I've studied Thomas Hearns, Roberto, like I said,
Hmm.
Roberto Duran. Who was the other one? Marvin Hagler. I've watched all of them. Like
Hmm.
I look up to a lot of the fighters from old school, but I kind of put it all together into the new school style because the old school style was back then. Now
Yeah.
it's a new school. If you put them two together, then you'll be the ultimate fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like Thomas Hearns had fast hands, but if you put that into the new style, like Lopez is like fast hands, a lot of power.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Good movement. You know what I'm saying? Just be able to just move your head is a key thing nowadays. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's just I've just learned over time how to be the ultimate fighter, like I said, and I think
Hmm.
everyone will see that soon. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I noticed even when you're on the pad, you do that little flick like Canelo, then you take it round on towards the left on the pivot. So it's good stuff, man. It's good to see. And you're very defensively minded. So I
Yeah,
think as a professional, that'll help you progress a lot because you've got the aggression and the defense to work with it. Mhm. Also, have you always stayed at the same gym throughout your amateurs, or have you ever moved gyms?
nah, I've always been at Wolves
Hmm.
ABC. I've always been
Hmm.
there. I've been there for basically all my life. Obviously the coach is changing that, but I've always been a part of
Hmm.
Wolves ABC. That's always
Hmm.
been my gym. Yeah, definitely.
Touching on your trained by Richie Carter now, how's your
Yeah.
relationship with him, and how do you think he'll help you develop as a professional entering them ranks?
I think he's helped me a lot already. There's a lot more he's helping with me. Like we're always working together. We're always on phone calls. We're always making the right decisions, the right weights. He's helped me with a lot of things. He knows exactly how it works because he was a good professional fighter himself, like a really good
Hmm.
one. He's a top 10 super middleweights at a certain time. I don't know when, but
Hmm.
he had over 10 fights, pro fights, and he won majority of them. You know what I'm saying? I think he won
Hmm.
about 30, 12 out of 13. His experience has kind of gone into me, and me learning from him is a key thing because once again, someone that stepped to the ring and knows how it feels. He had like 100 amateur fights as well, so and he won the nationals. He knows exactly how it runs. And when I watch someone like that or hear from them, I've got to listen. I'm like a
Hmm.
sponge, you know what I mean? I've got to listen to everything they say. Yeah, strong relationship. We're always just working on new things. We're always on calls and stuff, and I'm always asking if I need to do this, I need to do that. He's always helping me, man. You know what I mean? Even
Hmm.
if it's like a certain day when he's not available,
Hmm.
he will always help me. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
yeah, man, most definitely, most definitely.
I obviously fumbled the introduction of it, but could you tell us about some of your amateur achievements? I know there's a bit of a list, as far as Midlands as well. Hmm.
So I've had 38 to 40 amateurs. I've lost count. I need to count my
Hmm.
trophies at one point. I had 30
Hmm.
wins. So I had out of 40, I won 30, 38. Yeah, something like that anyway.
Hmm.
Yeah, I won a 5 times Midlands champion. I was a 2 times bronze medalist. I got to the quarterfinals twice as well. 3 times, sorry. I've been in the top 8, top 3. I got robbed in one of my fights. Obviously, no excuses. We come back stronger.
Hmm.
But I hurt him in the third round and he stopped him, dominated the second round. But they gave it to him, which is cool. It
Hmm.
didn't really stop me. You know what I mean? It made me stronger, to be honest, as a stronger fighter. Um, Once again, what else have I done? I got selected for the England camps as well before,
Hmm.
but obviously COVID happened, so I couldn't really go into them. I've just always been a part of the best amateurs, you know what I mean? I've sparred good
Hmm.
fighters, I've been a part of the best, I've fought the best, never
Hmm.
scared. No, I don't fear no one. Yeah, that's it. I've had a lot of
Hmm.
achievements. I've got to think of more achievements I've had. It's been a long
Yeah,
time.
just I tell you what, I couldn't get it all out
Yeah,
when I tried
yeah,
to
yeah.
introduce it for sure. But so what would you say, like, if you had to pick, what would you say you're most proud of in your amateur career?
I think the most proud thing I ever did was win 3 fights in 1 week.
Hmm.
Because this was a crazy story, to be honest. I don't think I've mentioned it in a podcast. I think I might have once, but
I've
in a
got the
different one.
exclusive.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. What happened was I've won the first fight, which was on the Sunday, and then
Hmm.
I fought on a Wednesday, and I fought a really tough kid, man. He's my friend now, though. His name's Davian. Like we became
Hmm.
friends after. Like I seen him recently, and we became good friends. But yeah, we had a war, man. I broke my hand. We fought. He nearly stopped me in the third round. I came back. You know what I mean? I gave him some big shots. The first 2 rounds were just a full out war. It was just an honest fight. You know what I mean? Two
Hmm.
prospects because he's just turned pro as well. Obviously, he's a lot heavier than me now, but two good young prospects fighting for the Midlands, and
Hmm.
like it was just one of them fights where you could see the pure passion. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you can see the passion in both of us. We both wanted to win that fight, and I think I
Hmm.
broke my hand in that fight. So the third
What
round, what
round
happened was
did you break in the final round? Was that?
yeah, yeah, it was the
Yeah.
third round.
Hmm.
I broke my hand. I
Hmm.
came with the over right hook. I think it was just out of instinct, to be honest. It was just pure
Hmm.
heart. I was just fighting on. It was just like at least about 3,000 punches came thrown, hypothetically.
Hmm. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So we was just going at it, boom, dropped him. It was kind of like an off balance shot, but it was one of them ones. We got up, we just carried on fighting until the bell went. Then I realized my hand was broken. Obviously, I won the fight on a split decision. Close fight though. Boom. We went home. I realized like I had like a lump on my arm. So
Hmm.
what I did was I didn't tell no one because I was 16 at the time, 17, and I fought on the Sunday again, come in the Midlands final.
Hmm.
But I just won that fight convincingly with a jab. I just used my jab the
Hmm.
whole fight, just used my skills. And I kind of realized that in that fight, I don't need I don't need actual, what's it called, like, what's the word? How can I explain it? I don't need to fight all the time. I can actually, I've got
Hmm.
boxing
Push
skills, and
box on the back foot.
yeah, yeah, because the kid I
Hmm.
was fighting as well, he was good. Like he weren't a joke, man. You know what I mean? He was a
Hmm.
good fighter, and like he was trying to swing for me every time. So what I did was I just used my jab every time. Every time he swing, boom, jab straight in his face. And I know I
Hmm.
won the Midlands final. But the sad thing was I couldn't actually progress onto the nationals, the quarterfinals. It
Hmm.
wasn't my time, I don't think. But
Hmm.
like I said, we moved forward from there. I broke my hand. I was out for 3 months. And yeah, that was probably my biggest achievement. Fighting 3 times in
Hmm.
1 week was just probably one of the hardest things to ever do because your
Hmm.
body's aching after one fight, you burn out after another fight, but you still got to keep that mindset to
Hmm.
keep going. You know what I mean? But yeah, man,
Hmm.
that was good. That was
Do you
probably my
feel?
biggest.
Hmm. Absolutely. Do you now that you're turning over as a pro, what did it mean to sort of you signed with BCB, ain't you? How did that?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
did talk us through that process and what it means to you now to be turning over?
Yeah, it's a big thing, man. To turn over for me is just a big thing because I've been watching all the great fighters like Shakur Stevenson, Javante Davis. I want to be amongst that, you know what I mean? I want to be amongst them and show the world that I'm good as well. Like I can get to that level. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I know they've got like an American style. Like I said, I'm more like a Mexican American, whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
I like to go to the body. I like to rip the uppercuts in. I like to just fight like similar to what they fight like, but I'm willing to be better. And I'm always going to
Hmm.
train to be better than other fighters, but I got respect for them. You know what I mean? But when it comes to boxing, you can't respect your opponent until after the fight. Always respect
Hmm.
your opponent. You know what I mean? But you got to do your talking in the ring. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
yeah, it's a big thing to me. Like I want to get to the biggest levels. I want to reach the highest heights. I want to be the best of the
Hmm.
best. You know what I mean? I want to show the world that there's hope in Punjabi fighters. There's a
Hmm.
community like Dylan Cheema's doing it over there. I know he's
Absolutely.
a great fighter as well.
Hmm.
And I want to show the world that we've got it in us as well. Like you like can do this. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like obviously I'm not exactly from the best area. I didn't
Hmm.
come from the best background, but I still rose to the occasion, you know what I mean? And I still carried
Hmm.
on. So if I could do it, I think everyone can do it as well. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
this is for everyone in general, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because that's how it should be.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're obviously, I think I read you the first professional Punjabi to be coming out of Wolverhampton. So tell us what that feels like for you. And you're looking at guys like Cheema, he's doing great. We've got Inder
Yeah.
Bassi, we've got a lot coming through. We've got
Yeah. Yeah.
Sukdi. I think is he from America or Australia?
Yeah, yeah.
One
I
of the
think he's
two,
from
yeah.
Canada, you know. I
Oh,
think he's from
Canada,
Canada.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, we've got it all going on to be honest at the moment.
Yeah. If we
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying, like it's a big thing. Like I see in the Bassi doing his thing, in the Bassi, sorry, doing his thing.
Hmm.
I see Dylan Cheema doing his thing over there. I see Deep doing his thing over there. That's what we
Hmm.
need to do. We just need to keep
Hmm.
pushing forward. I think it's a good to show that Punjabi fighters can be we can be there. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? There is
Yeah.
such thing, like you know what I mean. I think obviously, like I said, there's a like I think in the Punjabi community, people get into they become they become doctors and stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then start going into different professions in life. But I think you can be a fighter as well. You can do sports. You can be a footballer. Like I know Arjun, he plays for Aston Villa. He's a good
Hmm.
footballer. You know what I mean? And he's paved the path to get into football as
More
well. So
generations, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Hmm.
it's just about showing how great we are as fighters and where we come from in our
Hmm.
from 100 years back, really. You know what I mean?
How
But
how
yeah,
much would you say our history and like what they're doing motivates you now to go on and go and win them British titles, them world titles, and that type of thing?
it motivates me. Trust me, it motivates
Hmm.
me a lot. Like I'll be sitting there. I always have visions. Sometimes I'll be just sitting down and just zoning out, thinking about how my first fight's gonna go, how it's gonna be, playing that Punjabi music coming in. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Kind of representing who we are. I always have the visions. I always had it from a young age. Obviously, I've always done it from a very young age, so I've kind of always thought about it. But it's coming to the time where it's actually going to happen, and these
Hmm.
are the moments that I'm looking forward to. And Dylan Cheema probably motivates me the most out of them, like
Hmm.
because where he's come from, like he was not looked at as the favorite in the Boxer series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't think anyone knew about him, but the man beat everyone, and you can't hate on that. Is it? I
Yeah, I
got
think it's
respect for it.
15-1 or something on the betting odds. So it
It
was
just
like
it just shows.
ridiculously. Hmm.
It just shows, man. It's all in God's will. Like it was written to do that. So
Hmm.
Dylan Cheema motivated me a lot after doing that. I thought, you know what, that's greatness right there. Because it's hard to fight 3 fights. Like, you got to remember, I think fighting 3 fights in one day and having a break in between, you got to remember your body aches in between. But if you're in a 12-round battle, your body will ache, but you're still in that position where you're still going to be fighting. So your arms are still warm, everything's still warm. So what he did kind of like did a lot, really. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot, man. And I respect him because the person he fought at the end, Wyland Charlton, he ain't a joke, man, either. He's a good fighter. He's a tough fighter. He's fought Florian Maku. And the way he was fighting was like he wants to win. So it just shows you how good Dylan Cheema really was in that fight. And I think, once again, it motivated me a lot.
I agree. Even when I've done a podcast with him, and even like his sort of grouping, he had 2 undefeated fighters, and then he had Charlton at the end. So it was a tough tournament. And when you think about boxing, like three rounds for someone who ain't boxed, that's going to be difficult. And then when you're doing it a professional, no head guard or anything, it's going to be a lot on your body.
It's different. Boxing is just one of the toughest and loneliest sports in the world. You know what I mean? It's one of them sports where either you got it or you don't. You got to have like a spark in your chest, and I have that. And obviously, when I do have my first fight in the pros, I think people realize how really good I am because I've got everything. I've got everything on my plate. I work hard every day for what I want, and there's not a single day, even on my rest days, I just end up training anyway, doing like a jog or something, like a long jog. And I think that's what a champion's got to have, a champion mindset at all times, and that's what I've got. Like, I think every fight I watch, it doesn't matter if it's someone like, I don't know, someone that's had like 10 losses or someone else that's had like undefeated champion of the world like Floyd. I will always learn from different fighters. I study every fighter to see, you know what, because even the little guys, like I'll be watching like flyweights and that just to see the pace they fight at and the way they throw body shots, because them like throw like, I don't know, like 30 punches in like 10 seconds. You know what I mean?
Crazy,
yeah. It's like, yo, like you learn from them. Like Miguel Flores, I think I watched him with his body shots and that. Great fighter, man. And the thing is, he was underrated. He don't get enough credit, but I will study him and give him props for that, and I'll learn off him because that's the main thing I do. It's just all about being a sponge. In this game, you can't think you're better than everyone else. You got to be a sponge. You got to learn from everyone. You know what I mean? Learn their style, learn the way they move their head, learn from the best. Because even someone less experienced, I'll learn from them. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
For sure. You put up a story as well, I think the other day, and it was what mattered more, money or legacy. So could you tell us about what you want to create in boxing and what's going to be important to you down the line?
Yeah, man, that was a good question. To be fair, I wanted to see what people wanted to say, but I think it all comes in. Legacy and money comes into one. You know what I'm saying? I think what it is I'm obviously money comes with boxing anyway. You sign your contracts, you're going to get a certain amount of money. Certain amount goes to you, certain amount goes to your manager, your trainer, whatever. But legacy to me is the most important thing ever because, like I said, I'm a Punjabi fighter, and I want to show people that we can pay. You can do this. Like you can do it. Like we don't have to go into different professions. You can be a fighter. You know what I mean? And I think there's not, obviously, because there's not many Punjabi fighters. It will motivate more younger generation of fighters to come forward in the Punjabi community. And like I said, man, like it's just great, man. It's just great. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just all about the legacy I want to create, and you'll see. You know what I mean? You'll see the legacy I make and the way I come out. Man. Like I've got hopes and dreams that I want to fight someone like Shakur one day. It's all business, you know what I mean? I respect him as a fighter. He's a great fighter, but one day I want to fight him. One day I want to be amongst Javante Davis, Teofimo Lopez. They're my idols, but they have to be rivals at one point as well. And I'm confident that I can fight them guys. I'm on the same level of caliber, or I'm getting to that level. Do you get what I'm saying? And once again, I always believe in myself, and I always will. I could be once again 20-1. I will still fight the guy, and I'll give him my all. You get what I'm saying? And I'll end up beating the guy as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can tell, like, self-belief, something that's in your heart. You want it. You want it now. You want it badly. Where do you think that comes from as a person and as a fighter?
I don't know, man. I don't know where it comes from, to be honest. I think it's just God gave me a gift. You know what I mean? Waheguru gave me a gift in boxing. I think it's just something that it was written to do for me to build a legacy for myself and to help the community out and to support people and help people. And you know, like I see a lot of young kids that, obviously I work with young kids as well, like young people. For someone called Darryl Chambers Empower Academy, and it's a good way just to teach young kids how to do boxing, because obviously it's a martial arts based company, And the amount of young people that come and they love boxing, they love MMA, they love all these sports. Obviously, I'm not an MMA specialist, but
It's
it's
transferable
great.
to some extent, yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
great to
boxing.
see the younger generations coming to me and asking me how to do boxing and how do I do this, how do I do that.
Hmm.
And once again, I'm always willing to help. It's a different type of saver, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And obviously, it's I think it's just all written. Like I said, it's
Yeah.
just all gonna happen. It's all me helping. And I don't just help these kids. I help them from the heart. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
I can see myself in some of them. I can see
Hmm.
myself in some of them. Just they don't really know what they're doing, but they want to find out who they are and what
Hmm.
they're here for. Because I think that's the main question we always ask ourselves: is like, why are we here? What are we here to
Hmm.
make? But me, I've always thought that I'm here to make a legacy and to create that path.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I like Sid Muswell. I like the way he created a path as well for the younger generation to get into music and the way he inspired the younger generation, the
Hmm.
Punjabi community, and the way he's just created everything for himself, coming from the pen. And that's
Hmm.
great. You know what I mean? Like it's just little things like that just motivate me as well. And
Yeah.
it's about helping. It's always about helping, giving other people what they
Hmm.
want as well, helping them out because that's what it's all about in Sikhism as well. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Touching on Seva, and so you just touched on your role. I didn't know that. So what else do you do in your role? Like how did that start? So when you
So
started working. Hmm.
So the man called Daryl Chambers, great guy. Always,
Hmm.
he's always. I've known him for like 10 years. Like literally,
Hmm.
when I was a kid, he used to look out for me. I was like one of his first projects at the church where he did like all these activities of boxing and stuff. When I literally
Hmm.
started boxing, what it was is that I've known him for this long. So obviously he was on and off. I seen him, then he'd be on and
Hmm.
off. So I'd see him like once, then I'd see him 3 years later. I would say, Safe, how you doing, this and that. And I'd see him again 3 years later. And then when I was about 14, 15, he started mentoring me at one youth zone, not like mentoring me like proper one to one, but he used to sit down with me for 30 minutes, play
Hmm.
basketball with me and see what I want to do in my career. And to be fair,
Hmm.
he kind of like helped me motivate me as well as a kid. Like he used to be like someone I looked up to, always trust me.
Hmm.
Like the way I looked up to him, I'd always enjoy seeing him. You know what I mean? It'd always be
Hmm.
a case of playing football with him and that, whatever, whatever. Then I stopped seeing him. Obviously, I went obviously on my own path, and then
Hmm.
I seen him when I was about 18, and then
Hmm.
obviously I just spoke to him on DMs on Instagram and that. And he asked me what am I doing, what my professions are, whatever, whatever. Then I just got to meet him, and then obviously we
Hmm.
started speaking. I was interested in the job. Obviously, I did some community stuff with him for about the
Hmm.
last 6 weeks last year, and from there we just built that relationship, and I started
Hmm.
working for him as a coach. And ever since, I've always enjoyed it. Like just
Hmm.
I've been to like 14, 15 different schools. I've been to Dudley, I've been to Birmingham, all around West Midlands, helping the young generation out. And we have done assemblies with him. We've done all sorts, man. Just it's not even the case of me working with him and just doing it for the job. I genuinely enjoy it as well
Hmm.
because it's a good job to do. Like you get to play football, you get to do boxing, you get something you love to
Yeah.
do. And I've met some great people on the team as well, like my friend Nico and all these guys. It's just been good, man. Like you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's just something that I enjoy, and I think I'll always
Hmm.
be with him. You know what I mean? Even if I made it reach the heights of boxing, I'd always
Hmm.
come support him and come back to him and like teach the young kids and just be
Yeah.
humble with it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. You said you're from like the rougher side of Wolves. So could you
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
us like what it's going to feel like to go back and then sort of you'll be on a higher platform once you achieve what I know you're going to achieve, and then go back and help the people. How do you think that's going to feel?
It's gonna feel amazing because
Hmm.
once again, I think a lot of the younger generation are lost nowadays, and I think there's a
Hmm.
lot of bad influence out there. And there's probably like 80% bad influence and 20% role models, and I want to
Hmm.
be that one role model. Anyone else, it'd be appreciative if there's a lot of other people, but I think a lot of people like the wrong path more, and they think it's
Hmm.
attractive, they think it's this, they think it's that, they think it's cool.
Hmm.
I've been on it myself, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna speak too tough, but like it's not the right way forward. It just leads
Hmm.
to either jail or death. I've
Hmm.
seen people get stabbed. I know I had friends before that got stabbed and stuff like that, and it's not the right way forward. You know what I mean? I've seen it. It's kind of just changed my mentality over time. When I used to chill with these people, I had to kind of separate myself and create a distance. You know what I mean? And then I
Hmm.
started making new friends and like friends that were just on the same type of mentality as me. And they're good people, like my friend Elijah, Nathan from boxing, Clary. I met all these guys, and they just kind of just had the same kind of mindset that me going
Mentality.
into boxing.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
mentality, and it's just gonna be a big thing. Trust me. Like when I
Hmm.
come back, it's always an emotional moment as well because you gotta
Hmm.
come back to the areas. I'll end up moving one day with my parents, moving them out, and then coming back to the same place where you was training hard every day, he's working hard, the way you slept, and you seeing that, it's just like you always have that memory where that's where it all started, and you always got to come back where it all started. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
Well, another person who's managed to do it was Leon Edwards. Do you follow MMA to a certain extent?
I don't watch MMA, but when people like Conor McGregor and Leon Edwards, I do watch it, to be fair.
Yeah, and he goes, look at me now. He's from Birmingham. He just won the first UFC champion from Birmingham. So great to see. He's going, look at me now. He's got the belt. So it's gonna be you, man.
Yeah, one day, but one day God's will be. You know what it is? It's just that was inspirational as well, because you got to remember that he's fighting the pound for pound king right there. Wasn't it a joke, man? He's the best of the best. You know what I mean? Like,
he didn't knock someone.
When you knock someone like that's like
Usman out. Yeah,
that's like okay. Let me think of it. Someone that's not on Canelo's level. Bivol was obviously too big, but that's like I don't know. I'm trying to think. That's like no disrespect to this. Who was that guy that fought? Yildirim. Was it Yildirim?
Yeah, he was the mandatory one, and everyone loves. I've always fought in him.
Yildirim's a good fighter, but that's like him knocking at Canelo. Canelo's like the pound for pound king. Like he's the number one, and then somebody, and Usman is the number one of UFC, obviously. And when Leon did that, it's just wow. You know what I mean? It's just a crazy moment.
It's a special moment, man. He come back from the rounds that was down a few rounds, and then it was the Rocky story. He calls himself Rocky Edwards, so he got the Rocky story.
Yeah, man. That was inspirational. Obviously, my friend trains with him at Renegade. He's a Renegade.
I think,
yeah. My friend trains with him, CJ. He trains with him and that, and obviously I know a couple people that know him. But personally, I know he's a UFC fighter. But once again, it's just inspirational, innit? Or motivation for me.
Touching on your professional career now, so I think it says on the BCB website you're looking at September. Is that still a date you're looking to turn over, or potentially?
Nah. When I first fight, it's going to be in October. I don't have a fight date exactly yet, but it's going to be some point in October. It'll be in October. When I get the fight date, I'll put it out there and everyone will see. But the reason why it changes is because obviously all the medicals and stuff we have to do, all the precautions you got to take and stuff, and like the eyes and stuff, like whatever. And it's all about preparing as well. Like, I think if you rush into a career, you rush into a fight, you ain't gonna make weight. You know what I mean? If I went into that fight, if I went into a fight weighing at like 67 kilo, and I haven't even made a difference in my weight, it's just unprofessional. Like, you know what I mean? Giving like someone 2 months is like the key thing. Obviously, I think October, and I'll put a fight day out soon.
Well, we look forward to it. Looking at maybe touching on a few of the fights that we just seen. Jack, could I get your thoughts on maybe AJ and Usyk too? And what you thought about
that? Yeah, obviously, I was rooting for Joshua because that's my guy. I think Joshua's just like he's just someone I looked up to as well. He's just someone I looked up to a lot.
He moved British boxing like a lot, to be honest. Hasn't he? He's done a lot.
He's done a lot, man. And like you said, like he's one of the fighters that came from like the streets and that, so I kind of relate to him. I know it's an emotional moment, but I understand him. Like when a fight is emotional, they do say things they don't mean, and obviously I relate to that type of moment. Like I wouldn't say I personally go out there and start like on the mic and that, but I get the way he's feeling, because Joshua's got a lot of pressure on him, and he's a good guy. Personally, he's a good guy. You got to remember, look at the way he acts. Like he's never been like that before. So for him to be like that, there's definitely something going on mentally on the side of him. You know what I mean? But I've got to give him props, man. I've got to give him props. He's always been a humble person. The way he comes across, I don't think I've ever seen him disrespect anyone, really. You know what I mean? I don't think he's ever. I think if someone disrespected him, then he'll disrespect them.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, there's always that that look in your eye where you're gonna do the stare off and you're talking to each other. But that's just boxing. Like without that, then there would be no fights. You know what I mean? But he's someone I always like. Would just even now I'm still rooting for the guy. It doesn't matter if he lost. Usyk was just obviously the masterful boxer. He's like one of them people that you just can't beat. He's got his number on Joshua, and there's nothing wrong with that, because great fighters lose fights. Like Sugar Ray Leonard lost. You know what I mean? Thomas Hearns lost. Marvin Hagler. We don't slate them fighters, so I think we should go back in time. Even like Lennox Lewis, he lost twice, but another great fight. Lennox Lewis is one of the legends. Mike Tyson, another legend. Like fighters lose, like it's a thing in
Hmm.
boxing. I think what it is now, Floyd Mayweather was undefeated for so long. I think, and
Hmm.
obviously he ended up not undefeated. I think the new generation of boxing, the new school, they look at boxing as a thing where you can't
Hmm.
lose, and it's
Yeah.
cool. That's fine. But then we gotta look at the great fighters that lose as well. That made them better. Like Amir Khan when he lost against Brady Prescott, he became the ultimate fighter after that. He
Hmm.
started beating Medina and all that. Like you gotta look up to that, and you gotta kind
Hmm.
of, you gotta kind of like use that
Take
as
inspiration
motivation.
from it for sure. I think.
100%, man.
Hmm.
I respect every fighter that steps in the ring, always will. It doesn't matter who
Hmm.
you are. Even KSI, I mean, I know he's a
Yeah.
YouTuber, but I respect him for jumping in the ring. It's hard, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it ain't easy. And obviously,
All
respect,
eyes on them, and if they lose, on it. So that's where the respect comes from, innit? For sure.
it's that's like I said, if you win a fight, everyone loves you, but if you lose it, only the people that mean to you, like all the people that live with you or your coach, they're the ones that will be in your corner all the time, the ones that care
Hmm.
about you the most, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Do you feel like now you're turning over as a professional in this sort of generation? Do you feel like there's any added pressure to stay undefeated, or do you think that's something that you remember when Keith Thurman used to say, "I've got to know, and I'm afraid to let it go. So if you can beat me, beat me."
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't have no pressure. I don't even think about losing. I think about winning all the time. So
Hmm.
I think my mentality is just always winning. Sorry, my dog's
Oh,
barking.
don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'll close, I'll close the window. But yeah,
That's all right, man.
what it is, yeah, with me, I don't really care about that type of thought. You know what I mean? If it happens, it
Hmm.
happens. But I don't think it will happen because I'm gonna be that
Hmm.
good, like, when it comes to it.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's just like once again, I think when I go into every fight, I always have a winning mentality. It doesn't matter who I'm fighting. I could be fighting for pin Ryan Garcia tomorrow. I'd still have a winning
Hmm.
mentality. And once again, these guys are good, great fighters. Like they're the
Hmm.
ones that people look up to. But if you want to be the best, you got to fight the best, and that's how it's always got to be. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'm willing to be the best, to fight the best, and I'm going to be the best one day. Someone's going to say that to me, and I respect that. But this is how it works in boxing. Like it's weird. You might respect someone, but at the same time, you're always going to have that little bit of animosity, like Thomas Hearns and
Hmm.
Sugar Ray Leonard had. Even
Yeah.
to this day, they still have that one-to-one.
Hmm. A
Like,
good.
oh, I beat you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thomas Hearns said, I beat you in that second fight. I beat you. And like Sugar Ray Leonard would be like, I don't know about that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just
Hmm.
there's always that, but it's all about respect. At the end of the day, there's two men, man of man. You're gonna fight. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's boxing for you.
Mhm. You've been like a sort of you've been a top amateur. I think you're seeded number two as a senior in the country right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So
I was seeing,
mhm,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I also read that you've. I'm gonna ask you to like break any like sparring stories, but you've sparred at like fighters like Adam Azim, and you've got praise off like the McGuigans of the world. How much does that give you confidence that you're gonna now use and take in all that experience and the praise to go on and push forward to get your greatness?
Yeah, man, it's a big thing because Adam Azim is like a top prospect in the UK,
Hmm.
and I'll give props to him, man. That was probably one of my toughest spars, probably the most thinking spars. I've sparred
Hmm.
some good fighters as well. He's
Yeah.
one of probably the hardest punches I've sparred, and I think he's one of the toughest. But like, I wasn't really on his weight anyway.
I
I'm
think
gonna
it's a
go down to
stone
featherweight.
lighter, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah, I was a
Mhm.
lot lighter, but it doesn't really matter because at the end of
Mhm.
the day, once again, it's all experience, it's all the pro game. You know what I mean? And when I went there and got the props and that, they said I got heart and stuff, and that's the main thing. Like, all I need to do is just get them rounds in, and then fighters, and then it's like a experience. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
not like I might spar him one day again. You never know, but I gotta
Mhm.
give him props, man. He's a good person as well. Like he gave me props after the spar. It
Mhm.
just shows a lot of respect and
Mhm.
getting compliments from them guys as well. Like obviously them world class trainers, and obviously
Mhm.
Baron McGuigan was a world champion. I'm pretty
Champion.
sure
Mhm.
he was. It was just a big thing because you got to remember these guys are top guys. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, big thing, man, for real.
Mhm. So to sort of maybe start winding the interview down now, what do you think say in 3 years' time you've started to make your progress as a professional? What do you think people will be saying and the hype train sort of starting to take off maybe?
Say again,
Mhm.
sorry. Say that again, sorry. Just cut off.
So, oh, it's my bad connection. So saying like maybe in like 2 3 years time, you've started to establish yourself as a professional. What do you think
Mm.
people will be saying as you sort of? Do you think you'll be pushing towards like your world titles then, or how do you think that's gonna go?
But in my personal mindset, I want to fight for a world title at the age of 24. I think I'll
Okay.
be good enough by then. I think I'll be out of the roof by then. I think I'll be really good. Like my confidence in that will be really good because obviously I'll be going into my man strength then as well. Obviously, I haven't even gone into my man strength yet, but I think I can fight for a world title at the age of 24, and I think in the next 3 years I can fight for a British title. So that's just me right now. My mentality is just going to be getting them with them first wins in, because even then journeyman can punch as well. So like we got to watch out for them journeymen as well. Like they're not bad fighters, they're all boxers at the end of the day. But yeah, we're gonna take a fight at each fight as it comes. All experience, all learning, you know what I'm saying? Building my name up, building my character up even more to the world. And then we'll rise to the occasion and we'll come back to fight the best guys. You know what I mean? I would do it tomorrow if I could, you know what I mean? But you know, we got to take the steps by steps, you know what I mean?
How important do you think it is to pace yourself at this sort of like you're turning over? It's an early sort of stage in your pros. How do you want to like pace yourself and go? Sort of, I asked Cheema this. It was like sort of the British, European, Commonwealth. That's the type of like Billy Joe Saunders travelled that road. A lot of fighters have. Is that something you'd like to do and progress to world?
Yeah, probably, man. Probably. I think obviously I won't even fight for millions every time. I'll probably just go straight to a British title from there. I think I could get to BT Sport as well, whatever promotion that will pick me. I'm pretty confident I can get to them stages. Yeah, I'll probably take the route that I'll get given, like the Europeans, then the Commonwealth or whatever. Moving forward to then the worlds and stuff, the youth world title, whatever they give me, I'll go for it. You know what I mean? It's just the more titles I get, the more better it is for me anyway. The more titles I'll have in my bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just stacked up.
All around. Yeah, stacked up.
Yeah, get one of them cases for him.
I could just exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it's just we'll take the routes that are given. If I agree to the terms, it'd be great, man. I'm down for it.
Do you want to sort of like shout out any sponsors at this point that have been
Yeah,
following you and that type of thing?
I can't announce one of them yet because I'm announcing that tomorrow. Shout out to Fireway. Shout out to my cameraman. Fireway is my favorite one of my guys, man. One of my guys, one that owns it. One of my favorite peoples I know as well. Just a good guy. His name's Taj. Great people. Pizza store. Everyone get at them. Go to if you live in Wolverhampton or if you like Fireway Pizza, whatever. If you know about them, go to that store. J-Mo, my cameraman, sick cameraman. You know what I mean? You probably see my videos and that. We've got something coming out soon as well. Obviously, I've got a lot more, but I need to think of the names now. I'll get back to the names.
That's
after.
all right, man. We'll put it in the description.
Yeah. All in the description.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll come back with the names. Yeah, man. But yeah.
Have you got? Oh, yeah. Go for it.
No, carry on. Sorry.
I was going to ask, do you have any sort of like final thoughts if we wanted to end it here on sort of your what would you like to leave people with as your message turning over as a pro now?
Just keep watching the journey, and we'll take one fight as it comes, and I'll show you pure greatness. I'll show you the next 5 years. Trust me, I'll be at that world title stage. You know what I mean? I believe it. And when I get to that stage, my haters can, come and shake my hand. I'll let you.
Do you want to shout out any of your socials? I'll put them at the bottom of the video anyway. I always sort of try to do that.
Yeah, get out obviously my Instagram is Gully Boxer. Get out my Facebook is Gully Power. My Snapchat is Gully_1time. And that's it. I need to make. I've got
one
to
time.
Yeah, one time. That's what I got from Keith Thurman. I used to like Keith Thurman a lot.
Keith's good, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, my Twitter is Gully Boxer as well. So yeah, just keep getting it all. My TikTok is I don't know what my TikTok is, but yeah, I don't really use it.
That's all right, man. This has been Chris from KRS Boxing. I'd like to thank Gully for his time. I massively appreciate you taking the time.
Always,
I'm a fan. I look forward to seeing what you do.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it.
That's okay,
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on here, man. It's been a great podcast.
Anytime. I hope to catch up with you again soon, hopefully. And
we'll
do something again.
Yeah, man, definitely. After, I would say something in New Year's, January is probably great. Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah, look forward to it. And
man,
I'd like to thank everyone for watching. And hopefully you can leave us a like, comment, and a subscription. And definitely go and check out Gully's social media. Give him a follow. All of them. Have a look. Keep up to date with him. He's got a bright future ahead. Thank you, everyone.
Man. Thank you, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.